Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back to Learn English with Noor. In today's video, I will be explaining or analyzing Sonnet 18 by William Shakespeare. So complete the video until the end and let's get into the video. If we saw the sonnet, it will be one block like you see now. First of all, we should separate it to understand it or to be able to understand it. So now I'm going to separate it. This is how it will be separated. Everyone knows that a sonnet is made up of 14 lines. So we are going to separate this sonnet into 3 quatrains and a couplet. A quatrain is made up of 4 lines and a couplet is made up of 2 lines. Let's read the poem. It's Sonnet 18 by William Shakespeare. Let's read it. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Sometimes too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed. And every fair from fairs sometime declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy external summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest. Nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when an eternal lines to time thou growest. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long live this, and this gives life to thee. So I've read the sonnet. Let's talk about the author. So the author or the writer is William Shakespeare. He wrote 154 sonnets, and Sonnet 18 was written by the late 16th century and the early 17th century. William Shakespeare was born 26th of April 1564 and he died 23rd of April 1616. He was an English playwright, poet, and actor. He was widely regarded as the greatest writer in the English language and the world's greatest dramatist. So here we have the words or the meaning of the words which were underlined in the sonnet. So let's begin by saying their meaning. The first word is thou art, which means you are. The second one is thy, or which means your. Lease, which means rent, contract, or a duration. Next is hath, which means has. Next, eye of heaven. Eye of heaven is the sun. Complexion is the skin color. Then next we have dimmed, which means blocked. Then by chance, which is by accident. Eternal, which means immortal or never dies. The last one is brag, which means boast. Let's start by analyzing, or we'll have a quick overview about the sonnet at the beginning, and then we will start analyzing it. Here is a quick overview. It says a sonnet. So a sonnet is made up of 14 lines, and this sonnet, Sonnet 18 by Shakespeare, is divided into 3 quatrains and a couplet, as I just said. A quatrain is made up of 4 lines and a couplet is made up of 2 lines. Next, the poem is written in iambic pentameter. Do you know what iambic pentameter is? So let me tell you. Iamb means unstressed, stressed, and penta means 5, and meter is something like a measure. So iambic pentameter is that means he used unstressed then stressed 5 times. Let's have an example. An example of this can be so long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this and this gives life to thee. So here the unstressed part is so. Here so is unstressed, then long is stressed. So the stressed, we are going to draw this for stressed, and unstressed like this. For example, if you have a rubber band and you stress it or you pulled it, it will be like this, but if you relax it, it will be like this. So this is stressed and unstressed. So let's complete. So long as so it's unstressed. Men can breathe or eyes can see. So if we divide it, it will be, we will have 5 iambic or 5 unstressed stress. So here's so long, this is 1. As men, this is 2. Can breathe, 3. Or eyes, 4. Can see is 5. So can you read it? Okay, let's read the last couplet. It says, so long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this and this gives life to thee. So this is the way to read something which is written in iambic pentameter. Let's complete our analysis. Next we have the first line provides us with a question. So when he says, shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Here it is, shall I compare thee to a summer's day? This is a question. Like he says, shall I compare my beloved to a summer's day? And here there is a very important point. So if he's in case A and he said, shall I compare my beloved to a summer's day? So this is something which not good, because here summer is too hot and it's extremely hot. But if he is in another country, for example like England, and he said, shall I compare my beloved to a summer's day? So this is very good, because their summer is warmth. Everybody there loves summer, because summer means family reunion, and it means warmth, and it means flowers and good things happen. So this is the first line, it's a question, and then he answers this question in the second line when he says, thou art more lovely and more temperate. So he says that his beloved is more lovely and more temperate than a summer's day, like she's more beautiful than a summer's day. And then in the next lines, or in the following lines, he will explain, or he will justify why he will not or why he shouldn't compare his beloved to a summer's day. Let's complete our analysis. Okay, then his explanation or justification, and he mentions the disadvantages of summer. Beloved is more beautiful and more lovely than even a summer's day. He will tell us why. As an overview, and then we will start by analyzing the first quatrain. The first quatrain says, line 1, in the first quatrain, the line 1, the writer starts his sonnet by a question, as I just said, and in line 2, it's the repetition of the word more means that his love of his beloved rises over the beauty of nature. So like she's even more beautiful than a summer's day. Line 2 answer the question in line 1. So line 1 is a question, line 2 is an answer, and the following lines are explanation. Complete. And then here eye of heaven, which is the sun, and here it's a metaphor, because he says okay, and it's a personification. A personification is kind of metaphor, so we have too many kinds of metaphor, and personification is one of them. When he says in this line, let's go back to the line, this one, when he says, sometimes too hot the eye of heaven shines. Line 3 in the second quatrain, which says, and every fair from fair sometime declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. So what does he mean by these two lines? He means that everything of beauty will at some point lose beauty by accident or by passage of time. The writer or Shakespeare counts the disadvantages of summer starting from the third line in the first quatrain. Here, when he starts saying, rough winds to shake the darling buds of May. This is one disadvantage, that rough winds. The second one, and summer's lace hath all too short a date. The second one is that summer just stays for just it's not long time, that it comes and it stays some time and then it goes again, like it doesn't stay for a long time. This is the second disadvantage of summer. The third one is sometimes too hot the eye of heaven shines. Like sometimes the sun, or sometimes some days are too hot, and often is his gold complexion dimmed, and sometimes the sun is dimmed, or the clouds block the sun's shine, or the sun's shine. And every fair, and the fifth one is that every fair from fair sometime declines. That summer, every beauty, everything of beauty will lose beauty at some point, or by the passage of time. So here by the passage, sometime declines by chance. This is means by accident, or nature's changing course untrimmed, or by the passage of time. So here are the disadvantages of summer that I just said. Here they are, the disadvantage of summer. First one is strong wind, then short duration, hot weather, and it's often cloudy. Here we have in the third quatrain, let's go back to the third quatrain and reread it again. Okay, the third quatrain says, but thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest. Nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest. So in this third quatrain, he says that his beloved will never die. So how? The third quatrain, he means he used the poetic immortality, and then Shakespeare is telling his beloved that she is eternal, because she is immortalized in the poem. So he knows that this poem will never die, and then every famous and people will read it, so they will always remember his beloved. And this is what he means by that she will be eternal. Like she will be eternal because she is mentioned in the immortalized, or in the eternal lines that will never die. This was the end for today's video. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, enable the notification bell, and thanks for watching. Have a great day.